Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So, for Anne-Marie Collins, hi Anne-Marie. I'm going to start a junk journal. And I'm going to give you guys some advice on how to do this. I know that a lot of you want to start art journaling and do not have the funds or don't want to, buy an art journal. They can be expensive. And we always get a lot of junk mail and we have a lot of junk around us, so why not make a junk journal with it? Now, this is my version. This is what I do. I will let you know, I will tell you different options that you could have, but once you see me start this, you're going to know, you're going to get all kinds of ideas in your head, and every time you look at something, you're going to look at it differently, and I know a lot of you already do that. Your emails and all, I love what you guys send me and what you guys do. You guys are so creative. So here we go. So we're going to start. Now, I don't know about you guys. I get a lot of junk mail. Now, this Rachel Ray is not a junk magazine. It is, how old is this? I am a horrible hoarder of magazines. And this is going to show you. This is from June 2011. So this has been sitting in here, and I don't know why I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it because I might want to go back and look at recipes. But what I like to do is go through magazines, write down the recipes that I like. It's something that I enjoy, and it's very comforting and relaxing to me. It's almost like a meditation. So I like to keep these and go through it. But I grabbed this one. We're going to work with this. Now, a lot of you guys get stuff in the mail, like catalogs, magazines, things, that we don't order or we don't want. You definitely can use that. I'm going to use this today, but again, you can use whatever you want. So first and foremost, let me move some of this stuff out. Okay, we want to make it so your pages will work, will be a little thicker. Now, this is good paper. I mean, it's thin. But I probably, no, look at that. Now I could cut that out and put that, okay. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to look and say. I'm not. What I'm going to do is take a glue stick. Now, do you need to use a glue stick? No, you don't. I find it easier for myself to use a glue stick when my hands, I'm in a lot of pain today, so my hands and everything are kind of really stiff and sore. But you can use your Mod Podge, you can use your gel medium, you can use your white school glue, you can use whatever you want, glossy accents, I don't care, to glue it down. I'm just going to use a glue stick for quickness and for ability today. Now, don't look at the pictures and think what you could do with the pictures, because I will be here all day. But if you see something that you like, something maybe colorful or that you want to put in your art journal, of course, rip out the page and use it. Because you're not going to need all those pages unless you really want them. But don't torture yourself. But here's what we're going to do. This is the cover. The cover is fairly thick, but not thick enough for me. So I'm just going to take my glue stick, and I'm going to this is probably not the best glue stick to use. I got a tip on how to fix my glue stick, which I should probably use. All right, let's use this bad boy and see. Yeah, better. So just run it down what is that called? I was going to say the crack. Run it down the crack. The edges. I take it over this way, and then I'm just going to give it a rub. You can use your roly-poly, but you don't have to. And don't worry about sticking every bit together. You don't have to. Then open it up and do it again. How many ever pages you want? Apparently, I like this magazine. I ripped a page out. So, and it might be easier for you to use a glue stick, or it might be easier for you to use something different. It's all what you like. So I'm going to do about 3 pages there. And don't worry if it bubbles a little bit. It's just for us to play in. All right, and then lift it up. And that's much sturdier for your beginning. Now, you can continue on and do 5, 6 pages if you want. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to continue. I should have probably done some of these ahead of time, but hey, my name's Kelly, and I don't do that kind of thing. I don't think ahead. Why would I think ahead? That would make me have to think. And again, continue doing it. Now, here's a little trick of a trick. Take 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. All right. Take your 4th page. Put your glue on it. All right. Glue that down. Then take the next page after you just glued these and glue that. Put some glue on that. Okay. Fold this all over and then watch. Oh my God, just stay there. It's falling all over, getting on my nerves. Not today, Satan. All right. Okay. And then we got our cover page. That's the page we did together. And we're going to open it, and we got these pages stuck together. Very easy. So now we'll do it again. And you can do as many pages as you want stuck together. Now this one's ripped. Don't know what I ripped out of there, but watch. And that's something else you can do. I don't want to see fibro because that's kicking my butt today. I'm just going to rip a few pages out, save them, do whatever you want, because you don't want it to be too thick. And then this is a cardboard piece with pizza on it, but I'm going to glue this page together because it's a nice thick page. Let's just put some glue on you, and then some glue on you. Let's just put some glue on you. A little bit up there so once I fold it, it stays. We're going to stick that together. That's a nice thick page there. And then we got it it's glued. And that's another page. It's a little ploopy, but it's okay. It's not, ain't gonna harm nothing. Then, my goodness, I must have really I probably went through this on video, and you guys are saying you already went through this book, this magazine, but who knows. IKEA, I love me some IKEA. Again, down the middle, down the side, and we're doing it and doing it. Just stick it down. And that is there. That's double page. I'm going to do it again here. I'm going to glue that down. Nice little push. And it's going to take a minute to dry. And look, we got all these pages together. Awesome. And then we'll do it again. Let me just take a couple of these out. Now, don't throw these away because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them. Put them there. But you know what? I'm going to add this on to that page because I don't like that mush in there. I'll just make that page more sturdy again. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do on here for now. This is one way to make a junk journal. Now, if you go back, I'm going to show you another way, but this is the first video I'm going to do where I'm doing this. This is just a magazine. So you have your pages, they're sturdier, you lift them up, give them a minute to dry. You want some thinner pages because we're going to put, some papers on there. You got that, you got that. You continue through as much as you want. Sit down, watch TV, sit down, put music on. Excuse me. Glue pages together. Let me just glue that together now because that's going to bother me forever. What do I do with my glue stick? Oh my gosh. Plus all that candy staring at me. Why are you staring at me, Candy? Why? Why? All right. Just that little bit. We'll just stick that there. Okay. So then I'll cover this back up. And now what you're going to do. Let's do the cover first because that's what we'll play with first. And this is just this quick way to take your catalogs, your magazines that you're not reading anymore. You can go to the dollar store and get a cheap magazine for $1. Doesn't matter what the subject is. You can, the library is constantly giving away for free these magazines that are expired, that maybe the next month or whatever. You could check those out. You can just go up to your librarian and ask them. They probably have some in the back. But I know me, and I have magazines everywhere. So let's work on the cover. Now, here's where I'm going to advise you to use cheaper paints. Don't use your golden or Liquitex. There's no need to. This is a bit glossy, so we do want to mattify it a little bit. Now, you could definitely gesso this if you want, but if you don't have gesso, pick a paint. Now, I'm going to pick wrought iron, and it's from Folk Art, and it's a black paint. And I'm going to do this black because I want to do some fanciness on it. So I'm just going to squirt. Oh, that's attractive. Excuse me. All right. I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to take a paintbrush if I can find what I did with it. All right. And I'm just going to take my paintbrush. Foam brush would be great. If I had a foam brush sitting here, I would use it. But I don't. And I'm just going to give it a quick, like I said, use matte, don't use glossy, because you want that little bit of tooth, and glossy would give you the same texture that you have. And I would do this only if you want to paint on it, or if you want to just glue papers on the front, you don't need to paint it. You can just glue those papers on because that's going to be your base. And I'm just doing this. Look how fancy I am. I'm so fancy. You already know. All right, you can do the outside of the magazine so it's all the same. Now, let me show you what I like to do. I'm just going to give that a second to dry. Now, here, if you have extra paint and you want to go in, you know, and you're feeling really daring, you can go ahead and do your next page. I'm just going to do the cover right now. All right, and then I'm going to stick that in my water. Where is my water? What did I do with my... Oh my gosh. Oh, I covered it. That's right. She's made of smart things. Now, this is my tomato holder. I bought tomatoes from the grocery store, and I got them in here. Grape tomatoes, love them. Now, here's what you can do with this. You can take your scissors, and I'm just giving that a second to dry. I'm just going to go in. I love using this kind of stuff. And I'm just going to show you one thing here, and I'm just going to cut it apart. Now look, 1 second. I cut that. That's a great texture for many different things. And then you can see here is a different texture on the bottom. So you'll just go and cut these off. I love when I get produce and it has different things on it. So we got that. And you could be much more carefuler than me. Because I don't want to keep you here all day watching me cut. So we can do like that. Now take your paper towel or your, whatever you have, even a little sponge or cosmetic sponge. And I'm just going to go and tap in and pull up some of that paint. Pull up some of that paint and lift it up. And it's not working exactly how I want it because I wanted it to get that texture, but that's okay. We'll get it with sprays. So if that's not going to work for me, I'm just going to go and lift up some of that paint. No big deal. Of course, if you have your heat gun, and I'll show you that in a second, we can dry this. Okay, so I'm going to set that there. And then I'm going to take my heat gun, that is unplugged. So we're not going to take the heat gun because it's not plugged in. I don't know. Maybe I unplugged. I bet you my husband unplugged it when we were plugging in the heating pad for the cats. I betcha. I betcha. All right. So we're gonna move on with a little bit of damp paint, but that's okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So enough of the black. I'll just tap these off. And what I'm gonna do is set these back down. Set that there. Set that there. And I'm going to take a stencil brush and I'm going to take, what color? I think, color are you? Let's just do a wicker white. Let's just do a white just to see. You're going to do whatever you like. And if your wicker white doesn't come out because it's dry and it's fallen can you no strength to name my hands. It's all right. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, we're not going to take wicker white. You're going to be thrown across the room. I'm not even lying. Okay. We're not doing white. Not that white anyway. I'm not doing a glossy. Oh my gosh. Preparation, Cal, is key. Nope, not going to do that one either. All right, screw it. I'm going to go over here. And let's pick a color. Let's see if this white will pop out. But all in all, good thing because it's given this a couple seconds to dry. Come out. I was going to show me. I'm coming out. I'm just taking, you can use whatever you want. Your paintbrush, your makeup sponge, your whatever you have. I'm just going to hold that there and I'm going to tap in very lightly. And I don't care if it's going to pick up some of the black because it's going to just be gray. And then you see how you're getting your thing. And then I can turn that over, give it a press. It's not going to do, you know, it doesn't have a lot of white on it, but it's going to give, look at that cool texture. And then we'll do the same here. And you want that because then you can build on that white with different colors and stuff. And you can see how it's getting grayer and grayer. And then I'll just lay that there. Or it'll stick to my finger and come with me. It's whatever it wants to do. Okay. And we're just getting those great prints. And then you can go and you could play, you know, add some, it's picking up some of that wet black, which I like because it's kind of making it modeled. But this is only the beginning. Now you see it's lightening up. It's not as, you know, stark white as that, and that's fine. So we see around here, we want to add some more places where we could lay more art. And again, if you're just going to collage on top of it, by all means, it's going to make it stronger. You do whatever you want. This is what I'm doing. What I want to do is make it look leathery, faux leather. So I got that in there. Good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love the little peeps of color coming through. You don't have to have peeps of color, but I like it. And then I'm going to pick a burnt sienna color. And I'm going to squirt it out right here. Okay. And just want to make sure I can see here. Okay. I'm just going to dab that in there. I'm going to take it off right over here so I can really push that white. I didn't clean off because you can see right here it's going lighter and lighter, and that's what I want. I want to start with more light of the brown. And then I'm going to go in very randomly. I'm not going to do it like I did the white. The white was just my base. Now remember, if you guys are going to try something and you're like me, like I'm like, oh, let's try if we can get like a leather look on here. And I start and I'm like, you know what? It's not doing it for me. So what? Just paint over and make it work for you. It doesn't matter. Don't get yourself upset. I know a lot of you get upset over that kind of stuff if it doesn't, you know, my vision never comes to me spot on. You know what I mean? Like I'm never sitting here like, oh, that I do this and I'm like, yeah, that's it, man. It doesn't work that way. So I'm going to take a little bit of the darker and we're just developing depth. But see, now I'm noticing that I really like that black. Don't know if I want to do the leather color. I'm just kind of, some of you might want this to be bright and cheery. I want it to look a little damaged, a little old, like me. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go in here. I'm going to leave these untouched. You know, I can kind of go around them a little bit but I like that coming through. Now I need a dark brown. That's the one I picked out. How you like me now? Give it a shake. Give it a twist. Give give it a little. Now you can clean your brush off now if you want. I just don't have the patience right now. I'm just going to add this in. Now you notice that I'm leaving all the colors here. I have my white, I have the one brown, I have the mixture of brown, I have the dark brown. So I just need some black, which is sitting right there. So I can pour it out and you'll see, we're just gonna bring it all together. Looks like a hot mess now, but so do I. I love the way that looks. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my brush. I'm just gonna give it a real quick wipe. I'm not going to wet it or anything like that because I don't want it wet. But I'm going to get a lot of that paint out. Or, like I always tell you guys, have paper or a journal sitting next to you where you can, you know, dot it off. I'm going to take some white. But then you can take your, you know, your colors and not waste them and start another background. I'm just going to go through a little bit. Especially around my things here. Okay. A little bit of that brown, just a little bit. This is always fun for me because it just things just come together and kind of show themselves to you. I'm just patting it through, nothing major. Yeah. Now I'm just going to do a little black on top just to add that little bit of random color coming through, really of a contrast that we let's do it here. Dip you in. And I'm going to show you, just randomly go around with just one tap in the black. Now tap off on your rag or your paper towel or your art journal page that you're doing your extra paint on. Just do a tap and then go in with no paint on it. And we're just want to blend this out a bit. And all we're doing was giving a couple taps each part because you want it to be almost feathery. And a little bit more white, just very lightly. See how it's just very lightly, like little splotches through everything. And it's going to pick up color as you continue, and that's kind of what you want. And then I'm just going to go back and double tap all those just to kind of blend them out a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do for this. Once it's dry, I'm going to put my art journal. But I am going to let it dry because I don't, I want it to, I want it to be, bright enough. I don't want it to be too smashed into the background. I'm going to do a bright color, maybe a red or a pink or a yellow where it really shows through. Now, if you think these whites are too dark, too light, and you want to darken them up a little bit, you could tap on those. I'd wait till they were probably dry, but if you are in a hurry or want to get that done, then go ahead. I like the splashes of the white with the dark behind it. I am happy with it. Now, let's just say I got this extra paint. What I'm going to do, and this is because I want to do this. You want to let this dry, obviously. I'm going to put this in my water. I'm going to set this. Just be careful because it'll stick and then rip. We don't want that. I'm going to take one of these. And it's just a foam brush. And what I'm going to do is pick up all this paint. And I'm just going to smear it on as my base coat so I don't waste it, because I don't have anything else sitting here right now that I can do it on. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to mush everything together. I'm not worrying about it. And then when we go back to work on the next page, it will be ready. And that's all you need. And you can use a makeup brush, another paintbrush, whatever you have. It's just to get that little bit of texture on there for your first layer. And you're gessoing it at the same time. So how can you beat that? Now I'm going to have to leave that open to dry, but I'm going to try to scrape up the rest here. And I'm going to hit this page and just kind of smear it. Obviously there's not as much. But if you want to gesso it before you do it again, you know, before you sit down because you want to art on these 2 pages, just take some of your paint if it ever comes out. And especially, like I said, if you have extra paint sitting there, and just gesso it now. Throw that cheap white acrylic paint on there. You can buy store brand AC Moore and Michaels. They always have great sales. You get like 4 for $2. And use that or make your own gesso. I have many recipes on how to make your own gesso. Plus you can, I mean, they're everywhere. You can find them. Baby powder, white school glue, and white paint if you want. Or if you want your gesso a different color, put black paint in instead of white paint, or red paint, whatever you want your gesso to be. Whatever you're working on. Okay. So that is that. I'll have to leave that open to dry. But I got all that extra paint up, and I have a little bit on here, and I'm just going to tap to add more texture. Why not? You never can have too much texture. And it makes everything go to the back. It makes, what's going to be in front is when I put on, you know, my art journal or whatever I want to put on here, the next layer. But if you don't want to put any layers, this could be it. And look at that. That is it. So that is the beginning of our junk journal using a catalog or magazine. Just make sure that, wait a minute. You leave it open to dry because you don't want them to stick together. So set them aside for probably 10 minutes or so, and then you're ready to go. And I will see you in the next video as we work with magazines and how to attach and make your own junk journal out of junk around the house. And if you want to do it along with me, get your little inserts, get envelopes from mail, things that you get in magazines, get your napkins, papers that you might have you know, put color on and you have sitting around, or your drop cloth, wrapping paper, whatever you have. And that'll be another way to make another journal. Very exciting. So I will see you guys in the next video. Give me a thumbs up if you like seeing these different ways of using things around the house. And different series of how to use things in different ways. I love doing that kind of stuff, so let me know what you guys want to see. And of course, as always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I love you guys also very much. So I will see you again later. Bye, guys.